Welcome back if this is your first time to the channel. It's been quite some time since I've played Star Citizen, and for that matter uploaded a YouTube video of me playing the game. There are various reasons for that, both in real life and in game. I did try to get back into the game during the late 3 dot patches, but it seemed like every time I played it was more broken than the last, and honestly I was just a little tired of waiting for Pyro and server meshing. And I told myself I would return when both of those were in the game, and here we are. This footage was recorded about 5 weeks ago when I first started playing the game again, and of course the very first thing I did after spending about an hour setting my bindings up is set out for Pyro. This is both a return to the game for me in real life, but it's also a return in a sense for my character. We're going to say that for him, in-game, as far as his lore goes, Pyro's where he's from. It's a lawless system where he can roam and pirate and do whatever he wants, kill whoever he wants without repercussions. So this is a return in more than just one sense, both to the game and a return home for my character. As usual, and especially because Pyro is a lawless system, we will be up to no good immediately. So there is piracy of a sort in this video. For now though, let's sit back and watch the mechanics involved as I learn for the first time how to go from one system to another. For those of us that remember the original announcement by Chris Roberts 12 years ago of this adventure, this is a very big deal to finally be going from one system to another in Star Citizen. And for me, this is a big deal because it's my first time doing so. So let's sit back and watch, and I'll shut up as we finally, after all these years, go from Stanton to Pyro. It's time to go home. Home at last, and definitely that did not disappoint. I'm actually very impressed by what they were able to do with both the graphics, the sound, and just the way that they were able to stream in Pyro as they streamed out Stanton. Everything works as advertised. The game seems more stable than ever, and I can't wait for what's to come for both my adventures in Star Citizen and for this channel. I've already got about 100 hours of footage that I've recorded over the last 5 weeks, so this is only the beginning. As one might imagine, the gateway of any system is, especially Pyro, is not the safest place to be. So it's a good idea to have a plan of where you want to go as soon as you get into Pyro especially. So that's what I'm doing. We're headed to Bloom. I've never been there, and I want to see what it looks like. And it did not disappoint. The planet tech has really come a long way. This is a beautiful planet, but what we're going to find out is it's also quite a lawless planet and not the safest place to be. I immediately head to a point of interest here. Honestly, all I'm looking for And I love that music on this planet. It sounds a lot like Blade Runner, maybe, or even Dune. But I'm looking for my first kill. It's been a long time. We're in a lawless planet for the first time. And as luck would have it, I find this Gladius just sitting there, and there happens to be a player in it, so naturally we're going to kill him.
Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
Welcome to Pyro. So here I set out to continue to explore the planet, and the very next point of interest that I choose just happens to be Shepherd's Rest, which I have learned since recording this video is one of the most dangerous places in all of the verse right now. Also, we're 1 hour in, if that, to master modes, and you're going to see me make a massive mistake that I've finally started to avoid making. But at the time of this video, I knew very little about how master modes worked. It wasn't part of the muscle memory yet, switching between nav and SCM, and I make a very critical mistake here shortly. But you gotta learn somehow. Oftentimes, learning the hard way is the best way to learn. So as you can tell, I still haven't gone to SCM, so my shields are down, which is going to turn out to be a very bad idea here at Shepherd's Rest in Pyro. I do activate my QED dampener because I'm excited to see an A2 or C2, hoping that it might have some cargo on it. But I haven't even set up my scanner yet, and I'm going off a little half-cocked here. And that turns out to be a big mistake. Not only that, but since recording this video, I've of course learned that an active Q dampener on your ship or somebody else's severely restricts speed in nav mode. So my ability to evade this guy is already severely limited. My speed is going to be cut in half or less. I stood no chance here. So that's a soft death, and unfortunately I have no ejection seat and a Cutlass Blue. So either he's going to hard death me now, or I can accept my fate and ride the ship down to the surface and hope I survive. At least it's a good view on the way down. My character has a chance to reflect on his life of crime. Maybe we'll survive the fall, maybe we won't. And I was as surprised as you are to survive that. But as you can hear, we're not out of danger yet. This guy's looking for my body or for me to pop out of the wreckage. So we're going to stay quiet and hide right here while he canvasses the wreckage for me. And hope that he just goes away. He does pretty quickly, and I noticed some either a ship or some potential wreckage off in the distance. And you can see just how dangerous Shepherd's Rest is. So we're going to go check this ship out and see if it's flyable. It could be our ticket off the planet, and if it isn't, we'll have to find another means of getting off planet. Unfortunately, this ship is a derelict and probably an earlier victim of that same pilot, so unfortunately this is not going to work to help us get off planet. So we're going to use an old tactic. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach out in global to random players and ask for a ride off of Bloom, which is exactly what I did. I had 2 volunteers. This guy was the first one to get here. The other one is in an FAC Lightning, and he's a little late to the party. Obviously, I have no good intentions here for this citizen. I am glad he's here to pick me up, but as you will see shortly, it's not good for him. As it would turn out, it was also this citizen's return to the game. He had just returned on this very same day. So we returned together. Me to unlawful activity. And him to me, unfortunately for him. It's been a while since I've been on board a Carrack, and this ship can be quite confusing. Part of PvP and piracy and Star Citizen is just knowing the layout of a ship. I did have extensive training almost 2 years ago on how to board and pirate this ship, but I'm having to rely on memory here, and it's not so great. This ship has an upper command deck and a lower bridge. The ship can be piloted from either. So right here we come out on the command deck or command bridge, and there's nobody here, so that means he's down on the lower bridge. So we're gonna go down there and just shadow him for a bit. You can't hear me right here, but I'm actually talking to him in VoIP, and I'm just waiting for him to go to Quantum for 2 reasons. One, there are hostile ships around, so I want him to get the ship clear of those, and once he's in Quantum, he's going to be more vulnerable to what I'm about to do. Anytime you're able to infiltrate another player's ship, be it through these kind of tactics or any other tactic, there's always a chance that they might have cargo. So the first order of business here is going to be to gain control of the ship, then see if he has cargo. At the very least, I'm going to try to steal any items he might have. Unfortunately, this is a Carrack, and it has a med bed, and as we've seen on other people's videos on YouTube for years now, that is a problem that still has not been solved. I'm all for big ship gameplay, capital ship gameplay. I've since bought a Polaris myself, so I have my own medical bay, but something needs to be done about how it works, and you're going to see what I mean very shortly. For now, it's time to double cross this guy. And in true Star Citizen desync fashion and jank fashion, that takes a little longer than it should. What was that, 5 hits with a shotgun and he finally went down? So right now I know immediately he's going to be spawning in his medical bay. Lucky for me, I do know where the medical bay is because of that previous familiarization and training. But I don't know, since it's been a 1.5 years since I played the game, is whether or not they finally fixed the way this works. So I'm trying to see if there's a way here to deactivate. After I kill him, of course. Trying to see here if maybe they've finally updated the game with a way to delete somebody's imprint, deactivate their medbed. There absolutely should be a built-in mechanic. I hope CIG, you're listening. Maybe you'll see this. But after all these years, after all this time, it's a little bit ridiculous that you guys haven't solved this problem. I've commandeered the ship at this point. It's mine. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to delete this citizen's imprint and fully take over the ship. At the very least, Maybe I pull a fuse, or I can shoot the med bed, or disable it, damage it to the point where it can't be used anymore, and this citizen should no longer be able to appear at will back in his ship. Honestly, the fact that this hasn't been fixed yet is completely unacceptable from a development and gameplay standpoint. I know that many in the community think that this is a form of griefing, but I really would like you to think about it from the perspective of an unlawful player for just a second. Think about this. Your ship has been taken over. You've been killed. There should be a way for the unlawful player, for the pirate, to disable your ability to spawn in the ship. It's not yours anymore. It's been taken. So this guy gets pretty cheeky, like a lot of Carrick pilots and a lot of pilots that have a lot of citizens that have med beds. He says things like, I can keep this up all day, this can't be fun for you. Things we've seen and heard before. So naturally the bodies are just going to start piling up here. And at this point, I don't consider that to be my fault or any other unlawful player's fault. This is CIG's fault at this point. Again, I don't think this game mechanic is that difficult to change. Either there needs to be a disable button, or the ability to damage the med bay beyond repair, or just the ability to delete the imprint altogether. But I'll quit ranting about that. Now we've got a job to do. As you saw there, I was a little confused because I didn't know about the tier 0 items, meaning that it wasn't possible to loot everything off of a player. Hopefully that is also fixed, and it is temporary. I love the fact that this guy is shaking his head here, like, oh, you know, stop doing this. So it seems like he's at least willing to parlay and perhaps cooperate. So as we know, one of my favorite kinds of piracy is extortion. If he has no cargo and there's nothing to take, I'll take his money. So I'm going to ask here for 1 million Alpha UEC and a ride back to Stanton. He tries to tell me that all he has is the 20,000 Alpha UEC that he spawned with. Now, in my experience, we've got two kind of players here. Honest ones and dishonest ones, and most are dishonest about how much money they actually have. But there's really no way to know for sure, so anything for me at this point, just getting back into the game after 1.5 years is better than nothing. So I ask him for all but 1 Alpha UEC of what he has. So the extortion price goes to 19,999 Alpha UEC. Now, one of the mistakes that I've made here as we go through all of this is I did not kick that F8C Lightning pilot from the party. Instead of kicking him from the party, I left the party, which was a dumbass mistake. Because now he has this other citizen's party marker and he's on his way. They're in communication as well. I don't suspect all of this with him looking at his Moby glass is actually him trying to send me the money in MO Trader. And you can see right there at the top that this other citizen, Gabriel Belmont, is on the ship. So that's a problem. Most likely they've been in communication the whole time. He's told this guy what I've been up to, and this guy's coming as a white knight to try to rescue him. So we're going to close the door and barricade the best we can and try to win this impending PvP FPS fight. This guy tries to say here that he tried to send the money through MO Trader and asked me repeatedly if I got it, but I think that was all a ruse because no, it didn't work. I never got it. And here comes his friend. Die. So I haven't completely lost my touch. I still remember how to play the game to an extent. In the old versions of the game, one of the things that would be really important right here would be to commandeer all available weapons on other players and make sure that this guy has no access to armor or weapons. Unfortunately, like we've been saying repeatedly, or like I've been saying repeatedly, I'm brand new back into the game, and I had no idea what was going on here with the tier 0 weapons. So I thought that maybe I just couldn't figure out how to drag and drop weapons to my inventory, and that this guy still had access to the weapons, both on his body and on this other player's. Not to mention, it doesn't matter anyway, because even if I'm able to fly the ship, this guy's just going to keep respawning. And all he's got to do is come up behind me while I'm in the pilot seat and middle click the mouse and knock me out. And if I remember correctly, I think I have a weapon in my backpack. He may have been able to get one of my weapons. I don't really remember. But the concern is that he could knock me out or kill me if I were to try to fly a ship. So I asked him to do just that, to get in the cockpit, fly the ship, take me where I want to go. And again, this is so stupid. If I just had the ability to disable his medbed, I would already be on my way. This wouldn't be an issue anymore. I immediately recognize my mistake here and tell him, you know, actually get out of the seat or die, because I figure he's probably going to set the self-destruct, which of course he does. And I kill him to get him out of the seat here, and then deactivate it.
Self-destruct cancelled.
So now I'm getting impatient, running out of options, and this guy's he's just going to keep doing this. It's so ridiculous. And again, I feel no remorse for doing this, because this mechanic should have been fixed a long time ago. I thought long and hard about what kind of video I was going to make as my return video, and I figured I would just do this one for two reasons. One, this is actually my return to the game. This is my first couple of hours of gameplay when I returned, and I wanted to highlight and expose that this has not been fixed. At this point, I've kind of made my decision. I'm just trying to time it right. There should be another ship out there. I have no idea if it is the F-8C Lightning that guy said he was going to come in, or some other ship. Presumably, he might have left his ship open, like a lot of people do. So we're going to self-destruct this ship, and we're going to see if we have a ride home out there. Unfortunately, I had forgotten that I came down to the lower bridge. I get a little disoriented here, and I don't feel good about the amount of time I have to get out. So I'm going to run back and reset the self-destruct, figure out where the hell I am in the ship, and do this again.
Self-destruct cancelled.
So the timing is important here. I don't want him to be able to regenerate in time to recognize that I've set the self-destruct and to disable it. So as soon as I kill him, I know where I'm at now. I've realized I'm on the upper bridge. So what we're going to do is set the self-destruct or that I'm on the lower bridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the upper bridge, set it from that area, and go out the way we came. And I did this on purpose because I know that I can quickly get to that ladder from this area and get out. But as you'll see, the timing was crucial, and I was right to reset this whole thing. So that's our exit. It's definitely time to go at this point. So we were right to assume that there was a ship out here. Unfortunately, it's an FAC Lightning. I try every trick in the book to try to get this canopy open, but apparently the canopies of light fighters and heavy fighters are impervious to every weapon and every tactic in the game right now, unlike the cargo hatch to a lot of other medium and larger sized ships. So unfortunately, I have to take the backspace train back to Stanton. But this is just the beginning of my new adventures in Star Citizen. Hope you guys enjoyed the return. Like I said, there's been a lot of footage recorded since this footage was recorded, and I have many more videos that are going to be coming out. Also, you might have noticed I was unaffiliated at the recording of this video with any org. That's another story for another video, and as you'll see, I will make my return back to some familiar citizens and a familiar org in short order. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the verse.